welcome back, everybody. You know what? I feel bad because I didn't really prepare anything for today, but that's okay because we gonna wing it. I've been having an interesting day, and I'd like to share with all these beautiful people. And it's International Women's Day. Okay, I got a question about that, right? And maybe you could answer. You're a woman.
You did not
think
introduce
so.
me.
This is the lovely Dani Renee.
Thank you.
Stop being weird. I introduced you and you say you don't have nothing to say. It's just thank you.
I am Dani Renee. Okay, I thought he was going to give me an official introduction, but it's okay. I'll officially introduce myself. Okay. I am Dani Renee. I have a YouTube channel called No Chill Zone. You can find me on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're out of time.
At Dani No Chill. You can YouTube that. And then you can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at Dani No Chills, and that's with a Z at the end. Dani No Chills. You may continue.
How'd you come up with the name No Chills? I know where you got it, but like, how did you? Like what? Okay, actually, I know that story. Why was that a choice? Like, well, what about that is unique to you?
Well, at first, I thought that it's very catchy. No chill, like No Chill Zone. And I figured it would be something that would stick with people because it's kind of a long title a little bit, but it kind of also goes with my personality. So no chill zone, live your life with no chill. Like, it just kind of fell into place.
What does that on International Women's Day?
Yeah.
You telling people to live their life with no chill. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so what it means to live your life with no chill, it just means to be true to who you are, true to who your core is. Don't try to be something that you're not or be something that someone else wants you to be. Be yourself, live your life with no chill, because then the world will automatically gravitate to who you are because you're your own individual person.
That sounds a lot like the movie The Secret. I know you've watched that.
Oh yeah.
Sounds a lot like that. Like you create the energy around you, you know? So if you're thinking negative, then negative stuff will happen. And if you're positive stuff will happen.
Right.
But my thing with that is, okay, let me get deep, right? I used to think that if I wake up every day positive, right? Positive affirmations. You know what I mean? Like, today's going to be a great day. This is my year. And something goes wrong or it doesn't go as how I wanted it to, right? Does that then mean that creating that energy is wrong, right? I used to think that, you know? And then I thought, well, if I do it and it works, like let's say, 30 to 40% of the time, if I wake up in the morning and I say I'm going to have a great day. So 30, 40%, that's like 3 out of 10 times. So you think 10 days, 3 or 4 days out of that 10, I had really, really good days. And the other 6 or 7, it was just average. It were good days, but nothing really to, write home about. Does that mean that it works or doesn't work, right? And I would say it does, because one of the things that we all learn in life is that and I'm using fail and not, I'm using just the dictionary definition of failure, right? So you essentially, what that is you don't achieve your goal. Whatever your goal is, you don't achieve it, right? Does that mean that it didn't work? Well, no, not really, right? Because most of the good shit in life only happens about 30 to 40% of the time anyway. If you could have 50%, if 50% of your days, 365, are great, then that's the year that's your year. That's the year that you done made, you know what I'm saying, a lifetime, a once in a lifetime year. Even sports, if you're a Hall of Fame, okay, if you're a quarterback in the NFL and you throw around 60 to 65%, you're definitely going to go in the Hall of Fame. You're definitely going to be an All-Pro. You're definitely going to make the Pro Bowl, right? Which that's over 50, but still, it's not 60% on the test. It's a D. So you're barely passing, right? In basketball, if you are a 40 to 50% shooter, you're probably going to be the greatest shooter ever, Steph Curry, right?
Right.
Which still, you think 40% of the time, you're only making the ball 4 to 10 times you shoot it. But he's still great. So which means he misses it six times out of 10. Baseball, if you hit 320, if you hit the ball, if your batting average is 320, you are career. You're a Hall of Famer. You're an all-star. You're probably one of the best players on your team. You're only hitting the ball 3 times out of 10, right? So why in life do people expect to win every single day?
Right. I don't know. That's a good question. I was actually, because I went to a career fair today and I was with Dominique. And
Damo.
Damo. And we were
Why
talking.
She didn't come? She could have came. She wanted to come?
She was tired.
Oh, yeah. Y'all been, yeah.
And we was in heels all day walking
I bet
around.
y'all was.
Man, it's hard. Anyway, and we were talking about that. We were talking about how we get so down on ourselves. Like, we'll do a whole day that is so productive, but if we don't finish everything in that one day, we feel as if we have failed. We feel as if, like we didn't do what we were supposed to do.
Right.
Say for instance, like yesterday, I had to force myself to go to bed at 11 o'clock. I had woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I forced myself to go to bed because I felt, even though I woke up, I worked out, I shot a vlog, I came back home.
Productive.
Yeah, I came back home. I worked on my resume. I went to go get my resume printed, and then I came back home, and then I ate because I hadn't eaten all day. And then I'm like, oh, I wanted to start editing my vlog, and I felt like, damn, like maybe I should try and stay up. And it's like, no, like that's a good day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not going to be like a hit, and then I go and edit this YouTube video, and it's like it goes viral, like that's that percentage that you're talking about. So it's just like, I feel like sometimes we kind of get down on ourselves when we don't have like every single day is like a good day. And yesterday was a fantastic day.
Yeah.
But I just feel like since I didn't get to everything that I wanted to go to, I wasn't successful.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Or even like, well, two things. Even like on my job, and jobs that people have, right? You get asked to do something or you want to do something. How often do you get it done right then and there, right? Very rare, if you have to, if they go, if for your employer, if they say, hey, Dani, we want to send you to Coachella to cover the music festival, okay? Put together a budget and get back to us. You're not going to do it in one day, not even 2. You're going to say, okay, I'll get back to you in a week. Yeah. So that doesn't, if we look at stuff like that, that doesn't mean that day is a failure or that you didn't do something right. Yeah. And it's okay to come back to it, even when I'm working out, right? And I have like, okay, I'm going to do, 4 sets of 12 with the, chest flies or something, right? If I get to that 8th rep and my 8th rep and I'm getting tired, I put the weights down and I get back to it. If that shit takes me 20 minutes, then it takes me 20 fucking minutes. Right. I'm one of my boys, Jay Will, shout out Jay Will with Jay Will workout plan. He sent me a workout that I've been consistent. I'm up and more, bro, this month. I promise you. But I've been pretty consistent for about a month and a half. I took a couple weeks. I wasn't as consistent as I could have been, but that was just because I had a bunch of stuff going on. But anyways, I digress. But one of the days, one of the workout days is like pull-ups, right? And pull-ups are very hard to do. It's all about like core strength, right? You get these muscle head like balloon dudes that can't do 10 pull-ups probably, or can do 10 and they're done, right? So the thing in there is 50 pull-ups, and and in the notes is take as many sets as you need, right? The first time I did it, I said, yo, I have to do like 5 at a time, because I did 10. At the beginning of my workout, I could maybe get to like 15 pull-ups right around in there without having to stop. And so, but the pull-ups and the workout come at the end, right? So I look at that and I'm thinking like, well, maybe I should pace myself throughout the workout so I'm ready to do that. It's like, no. I'm gonna go hard at these other 3 or 4 work exercises, and then when I get there, if it takes me however long it takes me to do it the right way, then that's what it's gonna be. I could be at the gym for 2 hours. I could be doing that for 30 minutes. That's what it takes. I'm working myself to that. Mm-hmm. You know, that, and it's take as many sets as you need it. If I gotta do 10 sets of 5, I gotta do 10 sets of 5. Yeah. If I gotta do 5 sets of 10, I'll do 5 sets of 10, right? But it's a point that we got to get to. So this is the same thing in life, right? If we look at life as that, we say, okay, I'm not going to try to hit a home run in the first, where we just got to March. We've only had 2 full months. So we got 10 months to go, right? So if we say, okay, I'm not expecting to hit all my goals for the year in February, at the end of February, right? But what I can do is I could do 5 sets of 10, right? So every week, every day, I'm doing at least one thing that's going to set me up, and not to pace yourself, not to be like, well, I'm a little tired, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, if you got some time, do it now. It's just something simple, In your case, like you were saying, you had a super productive day, but you were like, oh, for this to be a successful day, I have to do this. It was like, no. You can wake up in the morning. You can do it tomorrow. You could do it after the job fair, which you did, right. And it was fine. And it was still a great day, right? Yeah. But we get caught up with that. I was gonna say, do you think social media has a lot to do with stuff like that?
I absolutely do, because I feel like society is so controlled by social media and what other people are doing, and then you see people who are like 12 years old with like 20 million followers. I'm totally over exaggerating, but they're probably.
I was gonna say 9, but that's high over exaggerating.
Yeah, with I know you rub off.
There's a baby, bro. There's a baby. Oh, she barely walking.
Like 60,000.
She got 60,000. She be getting, but they not ghost followers neither. She be getting like 15,000 likes on pictures. I'm like, who the hell is out here liking a baby's picture?
Right. And I feel like when we look at that type of stuff and we're like, well, shoot, exactly, that's a baby. Like, I've been in the game for this long. Like, why don't I have my 60,000? But it's all about it. Maybe
makes you think you're behind.
Yeah, and maybe you never know what happened with that baby. You never know like what that baby's story is, even though it is a baby. You know what I'm saying? But you just never know. Like, what if this 12-year-old who has the 9 million followers, half of them could be fake, if not all.
Well, but or dig a little deeper though.
Dig a little deeper.
Yeah. Why are you comparing yourself to anyone?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the problem, and that's what social media does to you. It makes you. And I really don't believe that the creators of Facebook and MySpace and Twitter and all, Instagram, I don't think that their intent originally was so that people could compare themselves to other people. It's sort of like when they made Viagra was a pill for people's heart.
Yeah.
It just so happened that makes your dick hard for 6 days. So social media, creators of Facebook, we've all seen the social network. It was a way for him to get girls. We want to see who the cutest girls on campus are. And then it came into this, it's a great way for friends to connect with other people on college campuses, right? Now it's like, even with MySpace, nobody tripped about getting likes on pictures with MySpace. They didn't trip about that. MySpace had chat rooms.
It kind of did start with MySpace.
Well, MySpace was the comments though.
Yeah, because I remember everybody would be like, go comment on my pictures.
Yeah, MySpace was the comments. You feel me? And that is where it started. I would agree with that. And even, did you have a Black Planet?
I did not.
I had a Black Planet.
I still have one.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Yeah, I do.
You tell people?
Nah.
Well, we met on Black Planet, y'all.
Thought it was Ratchet People Meet.
No.
I was on there looking for the young little Ratchet. Found an old Ratchet. No, I'm just kidding. You ain't that old. But anyways, what I was gonna say? Maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. But so as a result of that, people compare themselves to one another, and that is I mean, for people of faith, I mean, it's kind of in the Bible. It's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, right? Which means...
Here you go, throwing Bible verses.
I'm just saying, bro. Yeah.
Getting deep over here.
What did the pastor be saying?
Is in the house.
But y'all don't hear me, though. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Come on, somebody.
Come on, somebody. Somebody hear me in the back. Somebody. I'm speaking to somebody. I feel this side of the room, this side, this right side. Somebody on this right side is gonna love this message. If you turn to your Bibles.
Okay.
Exodus, page 3.
Exodus, page 3?
Yes.
How do you know that
Don't
Exodus
question
is
me.
on page 3? Genesis comes before Exodus.
Somebody get her out the church. You are no longer welcome. No.
Well, you got the wrong.
But anyways, my point is that in the commandments it says that, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm not a big, this is what the Bible says, this is what we should do. I'm not that guy. But I will say that the Bible is probably the most valuable piece of literature ever created.
Oh, yeah.
And anything you're going through, whether you're a person of faith or not, there's something in the Bible that can get you through it. And it's in there. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, thy neighbor's good. So right then and there, if you're a person of faith and you see yourself comparing yourself to other people because of social media, then I don't think just removing yourself solves the problem, because it ain't going nowhere. It's sort of like an alcohol, someone that's addicted to alcohol, and they just say, I'm gonna go and I'm go live on the ocean for a couple months to get away from alcohol. You're not fixing the problem, right? It's lipsticks on a pig. It's still a pig, So that is what I think the deeper.
I've never heard that.
Lipsticks on a pig?
No.
Still a pig? Oh yeah. Yeah, you can put lipstick, put it in a dress, it's still a pig.
Yeah.
But you gotta it ain't bacon.
Right.
But
it's a pig.
It is a pig. But that's what I think is a larger issue. And people are scared to admit it too. Nobody wants to admit that, they look at someone's Instagram and be like, damn man, she got all these followers and I could do what she does, and because we all do it, I'm a competitive person naturally, but not when it comes to like shit like that. Yeah. And my competitiveness is more so motivating. Like I'll root for you because it'll drive me.
More people were like you.
Well, well, then
the world would be a better place.
Oh my gosh, she out here, she got bars for me today, and you know it, and you know that. But no, for real, it's true. I've never been a jealous person. Like I enjoy being around positive, successful people. And success isn't always tangible. Success could be smart, intelligence, right? I love getting game from older folks, hearing stories about them and stuff they've learned, and right or wrong. Shit, it was a bum the other day, or homeless man. I don't mean to offend any homeless people listening, or they're tuning in to I'll Be Right Black. But
they got a cell phone?
I mean, they might. It is 2018. I seen a homeless dude with some 12s on. Put a cell phone out, the shoes and everything.
Oh shit, his priorities is all fucked up.
I mean, hey, got to get them J's. But yeah, he was kind of just rambling, and super knowledgeable though. Super knowledgeable, just about like what's going on in the world, shit like that. And I just thought, like, I bet he has a crazy ass story to tell.
I always think about that with homeless people. I tell you all the time,
yeah.
like, what the fuck happened? Yeah. Like, what got them to this point?
Yeah, I feel about the homeless people. But when I was a kid, gets
in fights with homeless people.
No. That's don't spread that rumor. I'll be out here fighting bums.
Bum fights.
Okay. This is my take on the homeless, right? When I was younger, when you're younger and you think something's a big deal, and then you get older, you're like, it ain't really that big of a deal, right? When I was a kid, I thought the homeless problem was a major issue, because I was living in San Francisco at the time. A whole bunch of homeless people. and me and my mom was on a bus. You know what I'm saying? Like we was on a bus walking. You know, our car was always breaking down, so I saw him firsthand. Right, homeless motherfuckers. You try to talk to my mom. It was crazy. So I was like, damn, you know, I was thinking like homeless was an issue. You feel me? Like we need to build houses and put the homeless people in the houses. So I remember asking my mom, and this was something that you and I have talked about. I said, you know, why don't they just build the homes for the homeless people and just put them in there? Like we could just have a homeless side of town where you just build all these houses and just put them in there. And she was like, well, it'd be expensive. I'm like, well, money is paper. Why can't we just print paper and just, I don't, you know, and to this day, I don't understand how, and I don't mean to go on a tangent because we're talking about homeless, but that's just a little tidbit. But I don't understand why, and we can revisit this later, but I don't understand why money that's printed on paper holds so much value in today's world, because it's just a number on a piece of paper. Yeah. And that in and of itself dictates whether you live or die, whether we like it or not. It's just a number on a paper.
Pastor Chi.
I'm talking to somebody. I know I'm talking to somebody.
You better speak on it, Pastor.
It's just a number on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like I think racism has always been a huge part of American society. But classism is right up there too. You feel me? And all that dictates classism is money. Yeah. That's it.
Paper
it's paper with a number.
Yeah.
At least back in the time before money, trade is was what they had the value. Rare golds, precious metals, silk, food. That shit is stuff you need to live, right? When the fuck did money become like such a problem? And even with, excuse me, I'm out here burping this, and I'm this is a hot take. And even with all of that, right? Even with money is whatever. Okay, yeah, that's the currency. It's printed on paper. Paper. You probably threw some paper away today. We wipe our ass with paper. Yep. It is called toilet paper. So the same toilet paper is what I wipe my ass with, but it also could save my life. Get the man, who you trying to fool?
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And think about it. And now it's beyond, now it's digital, right? People don't use cash now to buy shit. So all it's gonna take is for someone to be able to hack in to some kind of bank or some kind of something, put, $400 million in like 40 different accounts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like take $40 million, take $40 million. No, they're going to be, put them in a whole bunch of different accounts. Oh. Take it out that day or take it out super fast. And then they be.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why hasn't anybody done that yet? It's going to happen though.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen. There was a movie I saw. I don't remember when it was, but I don't know what movie it was either. I think it was a Will Smith movie though. When they told him to go to the ATM to take out or go in the bank or go in the ATM and take out some money. He was like, I don't have any money. And then he was like, they were like, check your account. So he went and checked his account. As he was looking at his account, he became like $100 million man.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what movie. I don't know if it was a Will Smith movie, but I feel like I'm seeing a brother.
I feel like I watched that with you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think I knew you then, but.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't think I did. It's not a shot. I just don't think I knew you then when I saw this movie.
That's fine. I said okay.
All right. Fix your face. That was a shot. I wish I had the shot sound. I'd bust a shot at you. But what was I saying before that?
We talking about homeless people.
So yeah, I thought good look. She listening today. But so I used to think homeless was a big issue, right? And then as I got older, I learned that it's not necessarily the homeless that are a problem. It's that a lot of them have mental health issues, right? And because of that, their families probably got tired of dealing with them.
Yeah.
And they don't have no place to go but the streets, right? So, and if you take the population of homeless, bro, let's say 100%, I would say, would you say like half have mental issues?
Probably.
Would you say more or less?
I would say probably half, and maybe some type of mental issue develops when you're on the street for X amount of time.
Good point. Okay. So let's just say mental issues. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. What percentage do you think of the homeless people have mental issues that are super treatable, like bipolar, right? But because they're on the streets, it gets progressively worse. Like what percentage of those people you think are on the streets?
I would say a very small percentage.
Give me a number.
Like 10.
10
or 12%.
Okay.
Because if it's progressed like bipolar on the street, like they're not about to have you on the street.
Well, that was just an example. But
okay.
So I was thinking closer maybe to like 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we average it out about 15%.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe a little less. Okay.
12.
I'm cool with that because, and what I mean by that is that, let's say, and the thought came to me when you said that they see shit on the streets and they go crazy. Just sometimes people in jail. People go in jail a certain way. They see some shit. They come out different. Now they crazy. So I'm sure that's like that.
So is it politically correct to call them crazy, or do they just have a mental?
Well, I guess crazy is a derogatory term for a mental illness.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to use it in a derogatory way. So I guess say mental illness. So they developed a mental illness as a result of them being on the streets. And I would say that number is about around, I'd say less than 20%.
Ooh. So that just made me think.
Okay.
So, like say somebody goes to jail and then they come out with a mental illness. And I feel like that's like,
they can't get a
like,
job.
Yeah, they can't get a job and then they end up on the street. And I feel like that's like a systematic theme.
So then will we up that number then to like 30 then? Double it?
Well, to the extreme of like bipolar?
No. I'm just because it's all the same. Because you can develop bipolarism.
Yeah. We can up it definitely because I believe that does happen.
So we back at 25 then.
Yeah, because people do. I didn't think about that. People do go into jail.
Yeah.
And then they come out. They can't get a job, and then they can't get a job because of what they went through in jail. And it's just like jail is supposed to be like a rehabilitation type of deal with you, and they freaking treat you like an animal.
And think about, okay, so now that's that 25, right? The people that weren't crazy, but something happened to them and they became crazy, and then the world or the society kind of turned their back on them. That's 25, right?
That just makes me think of Khalif Browder.
Now, yep, that's a very good example right there. Now you got the people that, let's say they didn't go to jail, but let's say they tried a drug. Right? We all know people that smoke bad weed, had bad mollies, you know what I'm saying? Had bad cocaine, tried crack, tried heroin, tried meth. And then as a result, now they're addicted to drugs. Now they're crazy. Now, what percentage do you think that people is homeless?
I think that's a larger percentage. I think
I
that's
agree.
Probably like
40?
Around the 40-50%
Okay.
tile.
So let's average it out, and let's say 45. Okay. So now 45 plus 25% is 40 plus 20 is 70. So 70% of the people on the streets have mental issues, but 25 of that could have been solved from the jump. You're not gonna stop people from using drugs. Like that's so of that 70%, right? 40% of them are just drug users, and people gonna use their drugs. People gonna smoke crack. They gonna do heroin, cocaine, weed, Molly, X, Xans. They gonna do all that. You ain't gonna be able to stop that. That's out. Cut it out. People been doing drugs since dinosaurs.
Right.
So it's like that's out, right? But my point in all this is there's a 30%. Or 25 to 30% of that population that could be saved if we had better laws instituted, regulations for people with mental health issues, even in prison, You know, therapy was more attainable, right? Talking to someone was more feasible than not. And where does a lot of that start at?
In jail.
No.
Oh.
What do we just talk about?
Oh.
Money.
Yes.
If you have the money to get the proper treatment,
Yep.
you can go to the top rehabilitation centers, the top psychologists, the top everything.
So why not, if somebody goes to jail, right? And say it's like a, I'm not going to say white collar crime, but let's say
It's a
that
misdemeanor type.
Yeah. Why, instead of sending them to prison, why send them to prison? Why not send them to a rehabilitation center or something like that?
I know that they do that for some people that are, but
those people probably come from money.
Well, I was gonna say a lot of, they may not get the of quality of treatment as someone with money. So your point is still valid, obviously, but going into it is what I mean. So if you're, excuse me, there are people that are born mentally unstable, with mental illnesses, and like we said, about 15% of those people, 20% end up on the streets. I said more closer to 25. You said 15. We averaged it out to about around 20. So 20% of those people end up on the streets, right? Then there's another percentage, which is a little smaller but not as big as the 20, that develop mental illness through like shit that they've seen. Then there's an even larger part that develop mental illness and through addictions and shit. Alcoholism is one. So if you get arrested for a crime, right, and you seem unstable, then I agree they should treat you, right? But it goes back to those regulations. It goes back to treating mental illness, right? Like a disease. And they treat it like, oh, we're just going to throw all the crazy people in jail, or we're going to throw all the crazy people in a mental asylum, or, you know, the loony bin or wherever, and then we'll let them work it out, which is wrong, right? And I think a large part of why it doesn't happen is money, which is stupid, like I said, because it's printed on paper. Money has no money. The only value money has is what we give it.
Exactly.
Like, why do we look up to people? Why do we look at someone that's a billionaire and say, oh, they have a lot of money? Why? Because he has money? He's a good... No, that doesn't mean shit, right? Give me some... There are people that have more ambition than that maybe aren't as tangibly rich, but they got visions. They speak right. They do this, they that. Maybe it's a guy that got a small business out somewhere, in East LA or something. And he chilling, he's happy as fuck, right? He doing his thing. Does that mean he's not as successful as a Warren Buffett or as smart? No, not at all. That doesn't mean that at all, right? But, not to go way off the rail, but, I think money is still a huge part with that stuff, because if you did, then of course there would be better regulations for shit like that, But so then to go back to the homeless thing, then there's another 30% of the people on the streets that are there, because of their own will, I think. You also have a small percentage of like war vets.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a lot of that. I don't think we have as much of that anymore as we used to. I know back in like
downtown.
I know back in like Vietnam era and all of that, there was a lot that was huge back then.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
now, I don't know if there's that many of those people, but so I would say I would give it about 7 or 8%. Again, people, we ain't not looking at no numbers, and then we just kind of just going off our own opinion.
Yeah.
And what we think.
I wonder if there are like statistics online.
I think so, but
how would you be able to determine homeless people?
Yeah, I was gonna say they can't be they can't be too accurate. It's just it'd be a guesstimate, just like what we're doing.
Right.
But
and this is just based off of California and what we see.
Right.
We don't even know what happens in other states.
Well, yeah, I agree. But my point is, with all of those numbers, right? This is my homeless thing, right? There is close to 50% of the homeless population that can help themselves. You know what I mean? And it's not up to me to determine that, to play judge, jury, and executioner. But if you got the wherewithal to stand on the corner and ask me for money, you know, to come up with a hustle, right? To use your cell phone and speak well and do all that, you know, why can't you go get some help? Mm-hmm. You know, it's them people that be shitting on themselves, and you know, those are the people I'm like, okay, something wrong. Ain't no person in their right mind gonna be looking like that. But though, and some of them be rude as hell.
Yeah,
those are the other ones too. You give me some money, like nigga, fuck you.
Right?
Who the fuck is you talking to? But again,
fighter.
The homeless. That's how I be talking to them too. But only the rude ones though. But you know, the ones that may have a hustle or something, you know, they like, hey man, you know, I'm selling these newspapers. I know you ain't selling them goddamn newspapers, but I respect the grind. Like you out here, you know, I may see you every day doing the same shit, but I respect the fact that you came to me politely and, you know, like, all right, you know, I'm out here, you know, whatever. I don't give a lot of homeless people money also too, because you don't know what they doing with the money. Mm-hmm. There was a woman just sickening to me that was out there begging, and she had her kids with her. And I've seen her in Santa Monica. I've seen her in downtown LA. I've seen her in Hollywood. I'm like, okay, so either you all this damn money you spending on the bus and these transportations, you could use that, right? Or you know, the government you can get assistance if you have kids, right? Mm-hmm. Even vets, like there's stuff out there that can help. Is it good? No, not really, but there's stuff out there.
Yeah, there is. I'm different. Like if I have a few couple spare change or a spare dollar, I'll definitely give a homeless person some money.
Yeah, good luck. Okay, good Samaritan over here.
Yeah.
I'll be because you don't know what you don't know what they're gonna get.
I don't, but I mean, hopefully it makes their life better. I don't know.
$1.
Maybe
they can
ask 100 people for $1.
You know what people like you doing?
What?
Y'all feeding them. Y'all ain't teaching them how to fish.
Well, I don't know.
Think about it. They on the corner. Let's say they make $200 a week just from begging, and they know you gonna give them $1 every single time. That stops them from getting a job. No, I'm being an asshole now. I was like,
damn.
I was
like, really?